Mxmtoon, or you can call me Maya, and I'm a singer-songwriter that's currently in Brooklyn, New York. So I'm here hanging out, trying to write songs.
I'm sitting here crying in my prom dress. I'd be the prom queen if crying was a contest.
Can you tell us something more about why Mxmtoon? Can you tell us the story behind it?
Totally. Mxmtoon was made when I was 11 years old, and it was because I started an Instagram account actually for my cartoon drawings. And so MXMT are my initials for my full name. And my dad suggested that I add OON at the end so that way it would be like Maya's Cartoons, because in my 11-year-old brain, it made so much sense to me that I would like get famous off of my cartoons on Instagram. That didn't happen for me at all. But I would use the username on everything, including my music eventually, when I started writing and releasing things in 2017. And it kind of just stuck. It got to a point where I was like, I don't think I can change it. But if I told my 11-year-old self that she had created an artist project, she would have been so excited. Yeah.
One of the few live performances I've seen of you was from the recently held 88 Rising concert. So how do you feel that you were one of the chosen Asian Americans to represent Asian talent in the world?
I mean, I was freaking out for I don't even know, weeks when I found out that I was going to be able to do that, because I'm a huge fan of 88 Rising, and to be able to also, as a mixed race person growing up half white and half Chinese, kind of claiming my Asian identity and feeling like I can be accepted into a community of other Asian musicians and artists that I really respect and look up to as a musician was super, super exciting. So I was really nervous to be a part of that, because it was really weird to see me side by side with a bunch of people that I personally listen to in my free time. But it was also really, really exciting. Yeah.
Hi Maya, I just want to ask, for people who have just discovered your music, what track would you recommend for them?
I think people who just discovered my music, I think the best one to start off with would be Prom Dress, just because that's one of my most popular songs, and I think it does a really good job of exploring the themes that I write about a lot in my music, so I think that's the one.
Speaking of your tracks, congratulations to your new EP, Dawn, and of course your newest track, Bon Iver. Can you walk us through your writing process and tell us more about your new EP, the Dawn?
Totally. So Dawn came out earlier this year, and it was the first EP that I think I really leaned into pop music and kind of explored heavier production and seeing myself in a context that wasn't so, I guess, indie music. And that was really exciting because I did a lot of session work with other artists. I was writing with different writers and collaborating with people for the first time on creating these songs in a different sense than I did with my first album, where I had written every single thing, I knew what I wanted it to sound like, and it was just going in kind of getting the final touches on it. Dawn was written from the ground up with a bunch of different people and myself, and that was the first time I'd ever done that. And I think it was the first project too where I was trying to focus my energy outwards a little bit more. I usually kind of look inwards when I write, and it was nice to be able to write with other people because I think it really forced me to look at things from a more joyous perspective, and I really like how it turned out. Yeah.
Your EP is so great, and we cannot wait and to look forward for the next one. So speaking of more of your tracks, can you also share what's the inspiration behind the song Bon Iver?
The inspiration behind the song Bon Iver was, obviously there's another artist out there called Bon Iver, and I'm a huge fan of their music, and I think it's beautiful. And I think going into making my own track Bon Iver, not to get confused with the artist, I was really wanting to make a song that felt like it could hold just a slight candle to his project and the beauty that I find within his own music. And I wanted to make a song that I think could be that transition from dawn, where things are so bright and beautiful, and go into dusk, which is going to be a little bit darker, and the nighttime, and explore those themes of okay, let's sit with ourselves a little bit longer and think about our own brains rather than kind of trying to problem solve what's around us. Yeah.
Playing Bon Iver on late night drives, my window moon and fireflies, holding on to moments that we found, even when the sun goes down.
Can you share with us what challenges you're facing right now in terms of recording and being a musician?
I mean, I think in a general sense, when you're a creative person, you need to live life in order to write about life. And so when you're stuck inside every single day, I can imagine, even if you're not in a creative field, it's just hard to think of new ideas and think about stuff to do. And so when you are supposed to be an artist and you're supposed to be creative, I think the biggest challenge that I've had so far is just trying to think of new things, because when I'm not surrounded by anything to kind of inspire me, how are you supposed to think about anything? It's impossible. So I don't know. I'm really excited to just go back to normal life when it's safe to do so. Yeah.
You've got these like wide array of experiences already, even at a young age. What advice can you like impart young artists who aspire to do the same thing you do? Just amazing.
I think my biggest piece of advice is not to overthink it. And I think that was probably one of the reasons that I still love what I do, is because if you think too hard about something, it can just it can warp its version of itself right in front of you. Like you start to not enjoy it if you're thinking about it way too hard. And so if you're a young creative and you're trying to go into an artistic field, make sure that you are finding happiness and joy in the things that you do first and foremost before you try and think about doing them maybe for a career or a job. It's all about your happiness at the end of the day.
One final question from me. Are there other upcoming releases that we should expect from you this year? Is there something you want to tease your fans a little bit with?
Totally. I mean, I have another EP that's coming on October 1st. It's called Dusk, and it's kind of the follow-up to Dawn. And it'll be a little bit sadder, a little bit more slow, but I think people will really enjoy it. It's very emblematic of a lot of the older music that I used to make, but kind of finally being able to make it really pretty and sparkly. Yeah.
Wanna be alone till your name was in my phone. Now I'm getting kinda used to you.
I just want to thank every single person that listens to me in the Philippines and supports me. It's incredible to me that I get to connect with people worldwide, and it's one of my dreams to hopefully come and play a live show there at some point in the future. So fingers crossed I get to do that. But I'm just beyond appreciative of everything that people do for me. So thank you. Yeah.
I know you